Yes, Francis here at 330 Vapes. I want to do a quick little, I don't know, review, I guess, on this tank. This is the Sigelei Elite Tank II. Roman numeral 2, not the number 2. Some people call it the V2. This is a tank designed for temp control devices. And I've been using it about a month now, maybe a little bit longer, and I feel comfortable now finally talking about this thing. And I've had some ups and downs with it. I was on Quest for Vapes show using it, and I told him I had some wicking issues. And I'm not sure if that's the issue or not, honestly, but as you can see even right now, see those little bubbles? They're just, you know, bloop, bloop, bloop. It's wicking right now. There is 6 juice ports, cotton ports on this thing, man, in that coil. That is the nickel Ni200 coil. It's supposed to come in at 0.2. Usually they read about 0.24. I've been through a few of them now. This is like my 4th coil. And it really does drink the juice, but that's to be expected with any temp-controlled tank, especially any sub-ohm tank, but especially temp-control tanks. The performance on this tank is good. For a 0.2 coil, I guess I sort of expected to get more out of it at lower wattages. You know, I keep trying to vape this thing at like 50 watts or 40 watts at like 450 degrees or something like that, which the Triton on those settings is like really powerful. And it's a 0.15. So I'm actually kind of surprised because usually, like with the Arctic and a nickel coil, I get like a lot more vapor production out of it at those settings. But for whatever reason, that's not happening with this tank. So I keep going back to these settings, and I'm at 590 degrees and 60 watts. I mean, I've got this basically. Let me go ahead and just turn it up. 600 degrees, 60 watts. Let's see if VT maxed out, man. And there, it's a good vape. It's nice and hot. The vapor production is good, but dude, it just chews my battery. You know, so here we go. It's consuming so much juice. I can usually take about 3 pulls on it before I have to let it sit and wick some more. See, you can see it. There, look at that. Look at all those juice bubbles, air bubbles. So then, like, I wonder if there's wicking issues. Like, does it take a long time to wick? Is it tight? The cotton too tight? And I've been through a bunch of coils. There's always like this foaminess in my juice, you know, because it's like constantly wicking. So sometimes I'll take it and I'll close the airflow down, and I will blow out the air bubbles. And then I'll pull in on it. Basically, flooding the atomizer with juice. So phenomenal at those settings. And if you got a device that you like to use those settings on, you like maxing out your devices, this tank is for you. I use this tank, not regularly. It just requires, and it says right on the side of the coil, which is funny because I just really didn't pay attention to that until like a couple days ago. I'm like, oh, it says 60 to 70 watts. Maybe I should turn it up. So I did. I turned it up to 60 watts on watts. I turned it up on the watts. 60 watts there on the VT, and I'll take it off of the VT and let it sit for a few minutes, and then we'll put it on the Snow Wolf, and you'll see what it does there. So, yeah, we'll try that. Okay, so I've cooled the thing down. I don't think it's going to get much more room temperature-y. And these nickel coils, man, I don't know if it's the devices or what, but I've been through the process of cooling the coils down to room temperature by letting them sit, whatever the case may be. And they still read differently on different devices, even though it's the same temperature. So, I mean, I don't think I can get this thing any cooler without putting it in a refrigerator. So I'm going to put this on here. First of all, on my Snow Wolf, I'm going to press the button while the atomizer is not connected. Oops, I just see too many clicks. Too many clicks. Now I got to wait for it to... Okay, 5... Okay, here we go. All right, so check atomizer. That'll let it know there's nothing on there, man. And then when I put this on, it's not asking me. I don't know. Maybe because of the resistance is close enough to when I put it last time. Usually it'll ask, new coil? Yes or no? Okay, so here it is. It's reading 0.27. I've got this at 516 degrees and 58 watts, okay, on the Snow Wolf. Now, it's performing nicely at lower settings. I don't, you know. So let me put it on the same settings as I had it on the eVic VT, and we'll see if it vapes the same. This right now at 58 watts. Let me bump that up to 60. So here we go, same settings. 60 watts, 600 degrees. Yeah, it's performing about the same. Now, they sell this tank, I think, to pair, because it's made by Sigelei, to pair it with the Sigelei 75-watt temp control device, which has a similar chip as this. It's the same company's chip. So I can essentially replicate that. Let me go up here to 70 watts. This is the top end of the recommended wattage for the nickel coil for the Sigelei Elite tank. Okay, still 600 degrees. Still a beast at that temperature, although I do feel like I'm getting a little bit of cottony flavor, like, because it's just drying out so fast. So like now I'm thinking, do I need to like do this again? Try and prime it some more. This is just, in my opinion, too much work for a tank. Yeah, so there's the flavor. It's back again. Because of those 6 juice ports, this thing just wicks like a beast, man. And at first I thought it wasn't wicking enough, but I think what it is that it almost can't keep up. It wicks so much juice that it makes it available to the coil that your settings just burn through the juice, and then the wicking just, you know, it's not that it's not wicking properly, it's just it requires a high amount of wattage for temp control, and it blows through the juice. I mean, I've been doing this review like what? I'm at 8.5 minutes, and this tank was 3/4 of the way full when I started, you know? It's performing phenomenally, other than the fact that I can't chain vape it without getting a lowered vapor production and a lowered flavor production. Now, I think that's 4 hits. I don't know. It seems to be keeping up pretty good. Look at this. This is how much juice. It's not level there. Okay, so you can see. It's just coming. It's not even coming to the top of the coil now. Tons of vapor. It's blowing through this juice at those settings and my battery. So I don't know. If you're not worried about battery life and juice, this tank is great. It really does perform. It produces a large amount of vapor. Flavor is good. I will say the drip tip is getting hot at these wattages. And the issue there is that this drip tip on the Sigelei tank is a wider It's not a 510 adapter or a 510 drip tip. If I take a 510 drip tip and I put it in here, you'll see what I'm talking about. Where do I have my... Okay. Oh. All right. Yeah. See? It's on the floor. So you can only use... Son of a bitch. You can only use Sigelei's drip tip, and there's no Delrin insulation or anything. It's a stainless steel drip tip with a single O-ring on there, and it holds fine. It doesn't move, but it gets hot, you know. Boy, I gotta clean this thing up a little bit. Getting a little bit of residue there. You know, it's a great tank. It's just not for me, I don't think. That tasted a little burnt. You know, it's good. It's a good tank. It's not for me. Those of you looking to get temp control and you want to use high wattage, you got a Snow Wolf, you got a SX chip like in the IPv3 Li that allows you, I think it's like 100 joules on that chip. Then, you know, by all means, man, use this tank. For me, it's a little power hungry, in my opinion. And again, you know, and it comes in this little package, and I don't have the packaging handy. But it comes with some other colored O-rings, some green ones and some blue ones, so it's kind of cool. You can change that up. They give you 2 coils in the package. It's a reasonably priced tank. I sell them in the shop for $30, and that's, you know, that's pretty good. There's no RBA section. If this had an RBA section, I would be all over this. But again, man, it's just I don't know. I feel like my opinion is biased because, you know, I use other tanks on a regular basis. The Triton, I love the Triton, other than its little leaking issue that it has. Not leaking, but contents. There's so much juice that is, like, gets built up inside this whole scenario, which, again, you can't change this out, you know, so. But this tank right here, it really performs at much lower settings, and I'll give you an example of that. Here's the EVIC VT that I was using the other tank with, the Sigelei tank, and I'll put this on here, and 0.15, there it is. It's 60 watts and 600 degrees. I don't even think I can vape this. Yeah, I mean, I didn't lock the resistance. That gets really hot at that setting there. I prefer this around 450 at about 50 watts. And it's great, you know. It's limiting the temperature just fine, but if I had this locked in, and now it's hot, so, you know. But if I had this locked in and used these settings, it's like I wouldn't be able to vape this. It's so hot, you know, and even with the airflow all the way open. Ugh. I got a little burnt there at the end because I didn't lock the resistance, so yeah. But, you know, that's my favorite temp control tank right now is the Triton. I really like it. The Arctic is good with nickel in it. But this Sigelei tank is a good tank. It's Sigelei. It's high quality. But if you ask me, why would they pair this tank right here with a device that only does 75 watts? I realize they rated it for that device, but you're going to blow through your battery in that device in like 2 hours, you know, with those settings. So anyways, it's just food for thought. This is my 4th video today. I'm trying to get some stuff out there so you guys can see some of the different temp control options because it has been my favorite thing lately. But at any rate, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking me out. Francis here, 330 Vapes. and I'm out.